We would like to tell you something about the norms and upbringing in the movie The Ice Storm. The Ice Storm is a film written by Ang Lee in 1997. Ang Lee is focusing on the traditional families, which from the outside seems perfect and very well functioned. But then the facade begins to crack, the truth will be relieved. This film takes place in a rich suburb with affluent parents. A lot of the persons we meet in the film are very depressed, not only by life itself but also by the dull entertainments and even by their own sins. The teenage children have already started experimenting with the same form of escape that adults have done for decades, such as pot, booze and sex. In the film we meet two different families. We see each and every one of their actions, hear the conversations, and we know almost everything about them. Both families are at the breaking point and turn to the opposite family to get a sense of comfort. One of the family is called the Hood family, and this family is held together by a quiet desperation. All the members in the family feel the need for something new and something different. They surround themselves by huge houses, shiny clean cars, and expensive fashion, which have burned out their ability to feel every kind of real joy. This is a well-known phenomenon in the English suburbs. All the houses look the same. Everything does, actually. For me, it would be different to find my own house if it wasn't for all the flowers in the garden. This is a picture of the suburb. Here you can see all the right lines. You can see the roads, the expensive houses, and you can see all the gardens with the green grass. And if you look very closely, you can see all the expensive cars from outside the house. Although everything looks perfect from the outside, it's not. The family father Ben is having an affair with his neighbor. His wife Elena is a shoplifter who is being hit on by a long-haired minister from the church. The children sip wine in the kitchen, steal from the local grocery store, and try everything to break their parents' strict rules at home. But is this what happens when children have too many rules and guidelines at homes? Rules for how they should live and how they should behave. In the film we see how parents try to guide the children to become a so-called perfect human being. We see when the daughter Katie from the Hood family is visiting the family next door. In this example, she stands in the toilet with her friend's little brother and she is showing her body parts to him. The little brother does not know how he should react and starts screaming. The mother comes strictly to the room. She tells Katie, "You have to treat your body as it were a temple," and with this she means that you should not do anything like this. You need to act like a real woman. You must maintain the idea of the American dream and thereby the perfect family. But you may be wondering, does children often become the opposite of the parents if you raise them with too many rules and guidelines? Can it be too much of everything? Shouldn't you instead try to forget your own rules, meanings and norms for a while? Let your children create their own experiments and thereby their way of living.
Throughout the movie, there is this Watergate scandal going on in the background and in the political theme. The Watergate was about some people connected to Robert Nixon supposedly put up surveillance equipment in the Watergate building so that Nixon would have an easier time getting re-elected. This was all found out, and he ended up getting in trouble. Um, the kids are the only ones that actually care about this. When you see the movie, you will notice that Wendy, she wants to watch the television a lot and she wants to follow all the politics, whereas the parents and the other parents in the movie, they don't really care about it. They're living their normal lives and having their affairs and so on, and then that's enough for them. none of them actually is thinking about the political theme, their country, only on themselves.
Do the grown-ups live by the standards they are trying to pass on to their children? Give examples. The grown-ups in the ice storm are trying to make the children responsible so they will make good choices. But the problem is that the children actually act a lot like the grown-ups. It can be seen in the scene where Wendy and Sandy are in the bathroom and Sandy suddenly gets very anxious and starts to yell. And then the mother, Janie, runs after Wendy into the master bedroom, where she stops her and starts to talk about how a person's body is his temple and how it is our first and last position, although the mother herself is having an affair with Ben Hood.
In which way does the upbringing affect the children? The children had grown up in a very strange family with a lot of secrets between everybody. That affects the children. Wendy is experimenting with sex while Sandy is blowing everything up. The oldest boy is drinking alcohol and smoking pot. The kids are very enclosed in themselves. The children are always copying what their parents are doing, but the parents are actually copying the children as well. Ben and Paul both pry into other people's medicine cabins, for example, and neither of them are taking advantage of opportunities for sex that present themselves the night of the storm. Wendy is kleptomania, and that makes her mother stealing too. Both of the parents and the children are affecting each other in bad ways. If the parents lived a normal life without cheating or having all the secrets, the children would be more normal and have a role model to look up to.
Discuss if somebody might be blamed for Mikey's death. When Ben finds Mikey, he briefly looks up. Why does he do that? If someone is blamed for Mikey's death is hard to say. Ben ends up in a problematic situation when he brings Mikey home to the Carver residence because there is no one to confirm that Ben didn't run Mikey over and that he actually died of the shock. When Ben arrives to the Carver's house, he looks up and sees his wife, who knows that Ben had been drinking, which could lead us to believe that he might be scared that she think that it is Ben's fault that Mikey is dead. But besides of that, we believe that a lot of people feel a lot of guilt because, for instance, Wendy didn't meet with Mikey as planned, and the parents let the children stay home alone, so they maybe feel that it's their fault that they didn't know where Mikey was, so it was their fault that he went out in the storm.